This is Dr. Huizinga, and this is the second video in the series, Your Spouse is Not Your Enemy. 10 Keys to Feeling Safe in Your Marriage. Remember, this series is for both the spouse who is pursuing, who wants more, and for the spouse who distances and is pulling away. It's especially for the spouse who's pulling away or distancing, because I want that spouse to understand certain things about that tendency to distance and understand 10 keys that are crucial in feeling more safe in your marriage. In this video, we explore key number 2, the idea that you need not lose your freedom once the knot is tied. It's important for the distancing spouse to understand that freedom is not lost in a marriage. I see it especially in young couples. You may grieve the loss of so-called freedom and feel overwhelmed with the perceived responsibilities. And so you, as the distancing spouse, of course, withdraw, back away, or want to escape. Here's a good question. Have you ever reflected on the purpose of the bachelor or bachelorette parties? In the United States, it's a common tradition that friends of the male and female throw a party for each before the wedding. And the party often involves raucous, crazy behavior where those in attendance let loose in a number of ways. It's like the last hurrah before the marriage. And it would appear the underlying message is this is your last chance to have some fun and to be free. And after all, once you are married, responsibilities kick in and you will have little chance to let go again. You're getting married and tying the knot. And that's a very interesting choice of words, isn't it? And although you anticipate the marriage with positive expectations and celebrate the wedding, the underlying thought is my life will be much, much different. It's time to grow up and enter the world of responsibility, whether it is children, vocation, or meeting the needs of the other. There is a sense in which you believe that you must put aside the carefree and unrestrained single life. You may carry it a little further. You may stubbornly think that your life not only loses its freedom and capacity for spontaneity, but it must be subjugated to the wishes of another. Your very self will be shoved away and put aside. Of course, most of us do not entertain these thoughts before the marriage, although my experience in premarital counseling tells me that more have these thoughts than most know. However, as the demands of married life are assumed, these fears of loss of self emerge, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 years down the marital road. Another dilemma for the newly married couple is observing the married people around them. You often observe married couples who struggle. You have friends whom recently married describe the frustration and the conflict that they encounter. The marriages that struggle and endure with pain far outnumber those they observe that offer life and health to the couple. Reality indicates to you that just perhaps marriage will be very difficult. Or you observe the perfect married couple. Everything about this couple seems ideal. They do perfectly what married couples are to do. By looking at them interact, you would never know they have problems. However, intuitively, such a couple often seems fairly plastic and contrived. They play the roles of a happily married couple, but each person seems to lack the spark which comes from being accepted as a fully unique person in that marriage. They play the roles, but their selves are submerged under the perfect roles they play. They seem to have lost their humanity. Good sex and intimacy will die the longer we are married is another latent belief. It is expected, especially if you talk to other married couples, that the marriage will grow cold. The passion will fade. The advent of children, the pressures of vocation, and intrusion of a number of factors will dull the senses. At some point, you will be too tired, too overwhelmed, and too busy to have good sex. You will lose passion, excitement, and spontaneity as you give to spouse, children, work, and community. The underlying fear seeps through. I will lose more in this marital process than I personally will gain. Here's a word of hope. It need not be this way. Marriage can be an environment in which freedom, fun, excitement, spontaneity is cultivated. Sure, not all the time, but even in the more difficult time, you can be ready for the humor and loving support that is able to stand at arm's length from the overwhelm and embrace possibilities that will truly excite you and your partner. You can learn that the loss of freedom and your personal self need not happen. Shift your thinking and get on the road to see your relationship with your significant other as a means to enhance your personal freedom. To learn more, enter your email address below and you will receive a free copy of Your Spouse Is Not Your Enemy, 10 Keys to Feeling Safe in Your Marriage. You have the entire ebook to read, share, and learn. This is Dr. Huizenga.